When it comes to learning English, you might think that you need a teacher. Obviously, in a perfect world, you'd have a teacher and you do lots of lessons with them. But there are lots of reasons why you can't, and I'm not going to go into them. You know yourself why you can't get a teacher. But you don't actually need someone to sit down and teach you English for an hour every single day. The only thing that you need is someone to speak English with and someone that will fix your mistakes. So, in my opinion, the best way you can replicate this without having a teacher is by speaking English online with someone who's also learning. Now, I think this is good for 4 reasons. 1, because it's free. 2, because it can fit into your schedule. 3, because it takes away any anxiety or fear. And 4, it helps you improve at a faster rate. So 1, it's free. It's when you're speaking with someone online, they're not going to charge you because they're also learning. 2, it fits into your schedule, because when you have an English teacher, you might have to pay for every 30 minutes or pay by the hour. But when you're speaking with someone who's also learning, you obviously you have your own life. You're going to be able to fit around your schedule. 3, it takes away anxiety and fear, because when you're speaking with a teacher, you might feel obviously there are some supportive teachers, but you're going to feel you're going to feel fear because they're either going to be a native speaker or fluent. And when you're speaking with someone who's at a higher level than you, at a much higher level than you, you're going to feel almost beneath them. You're going to feel like they're better than you. So you might be afraid to make mistakes. But when you're speaking with someone who's also learning, they're going to be roughly the same level as you, or a little bit higher. So you're not going to be afraid to make mistakes, because there are going to be some words that you know and that they don't, and some words that they know that you don't. So you're not going to be afraid to make mistakes and genuinely practice, because you're both at the same level and they're going to be making mistakes as well. And the 4th thing is it helps you learn at a faster rate, because this is similar to the 3rd point. But when you're both making mistakes and there are some words that you know that they don't, you're going to be able to pick up on those mistakes. And say you hear them pronounce a word wrong, or they use a word in the wrong context, you're going to be able to say, oh no, you say the word like this, or this word doesn't go with this word, or you have to say the sentence like this. And when you say that, then your brain is going to tell you that you're good enough to correct people in English, and that's going to boost your confidence, and it's also going to help you want to learn more. Because when you've just thought, I'm good enough, I know enough English to correct people, that's when you're going to be oh, I'm starting to get good at English. And when you start to get good at something, that's when you want to practice it more. And another thing specifically, this is really related to the 3rd point, but the number 1 reason why people don't practice English is because they feel scared, or they feel they have to impress someone. So instead of trying to speak about new things, they only speak about 1 or 2 topics that they know really well. But that's not when you're going to learn. But when you're speaking about topics you don't know really well, and you're messing up constantly, and you're making a lot of mistakes, that's when you're going to learn more. And that's why it's good to speak with someone who's also going to be messing up. Because if you're both making mistakes, you can't really make fun of. If you make a mistake, you can't really make fun of someone for making a mistake. If you have an accent, you can't call someone stupid or make fun of them for also having an accent. So it takes away a lot of the fear as well. And so, if you think this is a good method, to practice English, you're probably wondering, where can you find people online to practice with? Now, I'll put my community in the description. It's free. But there are tons of free groups where you can find people to speak English with online as well. You just search up "Speak English with People Online Free" on Google, and there'll be tons of recommendation. Now, the one thing that I recommend when you're doing this is find someone who doesn't speak the same native language as you. Because if you both speak different native languages, then you're going to be forced, it's going to force you to speak in English, which is going to make you make more mistakes, which might sound like a bad thing. But like I said, when you make more mistakes, that's when you're going to learn faster. And another thing is that when you're both learning, there are going to be some things you don't know. So I recommend consulting a textbook, or just or maybe have a YouTube video series, or you want to have one resource where you know that it's going to be correct. So if there's one thing that you both don't know, you can go and look it up, and you can make sure that you're not making the same mistake over and over again. So like I said, you can find someone to speak with online. I'll put my community, or you can just search for free communities online. And when you want to find someone who doesn't speak the same native language as you. So when you join these communities, you're probably wondering, what should you say? And I'll put a message that you can copy and paste it in the description. So when you join these communities, you can introduce yourself, so you can find people to speak with. And I've said it again, find someone who doesn't speak the same native language as you, so you're forced to speak English. Because when you're forced to speak English, you'll make more mistakes, and the more mistakes you make, that's when you'll get better. So if you're wondering what you should talk about with the person, then okay, let's say during the community you've introduced yourself and someone's interested, but you don't know what to talk about. Yeah, things I'd recommend talking about a topic that you enjoy. Like, it sounds silly, you might want to talk about like complex topics or topics that like they think will make you improve more. But when you talk about something that you enjoy, you're gonna want to speak about it more. And you're gonna want to be able to speak about the topic more. So you're gonna learn new words about that topic. You're gonna learn new sentence structures that apply to that topic. And you're just gonna, when you enjoy it, you're gonna speak about it more. And the more you speak English, the more mistakes you make. And the more mistakes you make, the better you get. And then when you make mistakes, you're not gonna feel bad or afraid because the other person will also make mistakes. So just find one, so you speak about one topic that, preferably that you both enjoy. Or even if you find it like half interesting, if they really enjoy it, then let them speak about it. Then if there's a topic that they're somewhat interested in, but you really like, then you speak about that topic. So when you let yourself speak about something that you genuinely enjoy, you're gonna want to speak about it more. So you're not gonna be worried or self-conscious. So when you speak about the topic more, you're gonna make more mistakes and you're gonna learn English better. So in terms of where you should speak with the person, like obviously I'd recommend WhatsApp because it's free and most people have it. But you can speak on any platform you want. But the point is that just speak with someone who's also learning, because it's gonna take away all your fear and anxiety. Because like when you're scared to speak English, like it's a bad feeling because like you know what you want to say, it's just you don't say it because you're scared of being judged for your accent or your grammar or your vocabulary. Like it's natural to be scared, but when you speak with someone who's also learning, like all that fear goes away and you get ready to speak English, because you can't get made fun of if the other person you're speaking to is also not good at English. If you both have an accent, you can't make fun of someone who also has an accent. And when you get rid of that fear of speaking English, when you stop being scared to speak and voice your opinions, that's when you're going to be happier to speak English. Your English is going to improve so much and you're going to feel more confident as well. Because like speaking with someone who's also learning, it will get rid of that fear you have of speaking to new people in English. And when you get rid of that fear, that's when you're going to, it just feels nice knowing that you can voice your opinion in English and being able to speak to other people without being worried about your accent or your grammar. So like I said, go online in the community, find someone to speak with. I'll leave the introduction paragraph below. And just tell them, okay, I want to speak for this long. I want to speak for this long. I really enjoy speaking about these topics. If there's topics that you're interested in, I'll be willing to speak about them as well. Just speak with them on the phone for a little while. Remember, if you feel scared when you're speaking or when you're calling them, just remember, like, they're also going to have an accent. They're also going to mess up. And like that's the important thing. When they mess up, don't feel worried about like, oh, they messed up, I have to be perfect. No, like the entire point of speaking with someone who's also learning is so that you don't feel bad messing up. Because like you can't get made fun of, you're gonna feel so much better once you realize that when you mess up, they're not gonna make fun of you or bully you or anything like that. Because when you hear them mess up, you're gonna realize, oh, I didn't have a bad reaction to them messing up, so why would they have a bad reaction to me messing up? So like I said, go into these communities, introduce yourself, tell people how long you want to speak for and what topic you want to speak about. Make sure that the person doesn't speak your native language and just speak with them about a topic that you enjoy. If you can just do this for 5 minutes a day, your English will improve by so much. And remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. The other person is going to make mistakes. And so don't feel self-conscious, because when you hear them make mistakes, just think. When you hear someone make a mistake, you don't think, oh, they're stupid or they're silly or they're dumb. So they're not going to think that about you. So like I said, go into these communities, find someone to speak with who doesn't speak your native language, introduce yourself, tell people how long you want to speak for and what you want to speak about. And when you're calling them, don't feel worried or anxious, because they're also going to make mistakes.